Hey everybody, this is Jose Blasco here. We're about to start in 30 seconds. Let's use this time for a sound check. So please go ahead and type a quick message on the chat box. A quick hello would do, so I know you hear me and we are ready to go. Thank you so much in advance. So it's getting close now. 10 seconds to go. Hey, how are you everybody? Paul, Lilan, Pansy. Very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, so we just reached the top of the hour. And therefore we are now live. Okay, we are live and ready to go to take care of our session today. How are you everybody? Good to see you. Ready for some trading? Very nice. Let's go for it. We got around 45 minutes to go. We have multiple markets to be identified, analyzed, multiple trades to be planned. And if everything meets our rules, we'll be executing as many as possible, which obviously that depends on the market. Before we start, a quick disclaimer. As always, the following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. And that's it. The session is now officially introduced. So I'm just going to close those introduction slides and jump into TradeStation like we always do. Okay, very good. So just checking the chat box right before, just in case. So again, Paul, good to see you. Leland, how are you? Pansy, very nice. Charles, Osman, Jaime, Thui, Ahmed, very nice, everybody. Thanks for the hellos and the confirmations that the sound is good. So let's begin, okay? Good. So what do we have? Well, as always, we got a collection of photoclimates running. In recent times, you have seen that I have added a greater number of futures markets here on the left, just to have a bit more diversity as well. So we got 15-minute climates, 60-minute climates, 240-minute climates. The most liquid markets are found on the top. In the middle, they are liquid, but just a bit less liquid. And then in the bottom part, we got the markets that are less liquid. Okay, so we go for larger time frames because we cannot chart such small time frames if we are lacking liquidity. And by the way, when I say lacking liquidity, none of those markets lack liquidity. They are proper markets to be traded, but at the same time, for example, heating oil is way less, like way less liquid compared to the S&P 500, for example. So that's why, some markets are in the bottom, some are in the top, some are in the middle. Okay. But no matter the markets that we deal with, we are always looking for the same thing. Okay. And it seems that the 30-year bond is meeting that one right now. We are looking for near sensible opportunities. Okay. The ones that are sensible but are not near, they are good, but there is a lot of waiting time because price is not near a potential entry, and therefore you have to wait a lot of time for price to come to you, and then market conditions, market climate may have changed. So we like near because it makes us efficient, and we like sensible because probabilities are on our side more than hopeful. Hopeful, as the name suggests, obviously we got less odds in our favor. So I mean, in any case, when you see the rows that are fully colored like that, even the hopeful trades, they kind of make sense from a directional point of view. But again, we have less probability on our side, and therefore the ideal approach would be to be strict with your set of rules and only go for whatever methods or tweaks or rules or timeframes that produce the greatest amount of probabilities on your end. And certainly sensible, it's a better choice compared to hopeful. Okay. Very good. Yeah, Jaime, absolutely. Just go ahead and type your question. If your question would take a long time for me to answer, then we will need to direct it to the sharpening session on the Sundays. But if not, I'll be more than happy to take a look because again, we need to be looking for trades in the session. Okay, so I'm going to load the US. Okay, the 30-year bond. By the way, for the US, okay, I have the 10-year note here. Okay, that one I have it ready. For the US, okay, I don't have the workspace ready, even though I do have my time frames ready here. Okay, so when we look at the column in the middle, okay, because notice again, I want to make sure you all follow me. So the US and the 10-year note, by the way, too, okay, those two bond markets, okay, bond and treasuries, they are showing us a near sensible opportunity. They are all based on the 60-minute time frame, okay. They are all based on the 60-minute time frame. Therefore, when looking at the time frames to be used, the 60-minute common time frame is here. So here's the TY and here's the US, and therefore the time frames to be used would be those time frames for the TY, and I do have a workspace already ready, and the ones below are the ones to be used for the 30-year bond, which that one I don't have it ready. Okay, I don't have it ready. Okay, Jaime, please do not stop yourself from typing that question. Okay, no worries at all. Okay, let me direct you to the sharpening if that's the case. But if I can, I will be more than happy to reply. Okay. So anyway, so let's continue here. Okay, so we have the TY right here. So we have the TY workspace here waiting for us. Okay, am I using the right time frames here? No, I am not using the right time frames. So I'm gonna have to do some adjustments. Okay, with the TY. So let me go ahead and type TY M20. Okay, so first of all, I need the right symbol. Second, for the TY, we are using the 60-minute time frame. So below it says 15. I'm going to change that to 60. Okay, and the 2-minute time frame should be the 8. Okay, 8-minute time frame. And then we are looking at 67.65. Okay, 67.65 share bars. So 6765 share bars, 89 and 987 tick bars. We only need a few bars on the chart for these, and then the reactive time frames 1597 and 233. So 1597 here, 55 bars and 233. Okay, and this is, here we go, we have it. Okay, so now I have my everything correct. Okay, now when using the M, okay, I'm having, you always wanna, when you see something like that on the chart, okay, lots of missing data, okay, and again, the TY is not that liquid, so there may be times where we see things like that, but every time you see something like that in the chart, you need to be thinking, am I using the right expiration date, okay? So the way to confirm that, we've done that before, is we go to bar charts. We are now dealing with financials. The 10-year note is right here, and the 10-year note is currently trading. Did I just type? Yes, that was yeah. Okay, so that's the U, obviously. That's why when I was looking at the chart, I'm like, why is that? And now I was momentarily totally convinced I was using the right letter, which obviously is not the case. So now with the U, TYU 20, now we're gonna be in a position where I'm gonna start looking at the climate the moment the PD goes away. Here we go. Okay, so let me zoom in. So when looking at the climate for the TY in a 60-minute time frame, notice how we are looking at the 60, isn't it? So we have a red dot. It's thick, so it's confirmed. Statistics suggest that if this market goes down, statistics suggest the duration of such climate is 4.34. Let's call it 5 candles. This is candle number 1. So we can enter a trade potentially and ride it for another 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so that's the type of trade that we may found as we now look at the reference price, okay, 138.95, and by keeping that number in mind, 138.95, we're just gonna move up to the edge time frames to look for red UFOs lining up with that price. Okay, so well, unfortunately, there is no red UFO. Okay, so 95, 130.95 is somewhere here, close to 139 if you wish. Okay, and notice that around 139 with the TY, there is no red UFO as of now. Okay, it may be 4, maybe later. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to save this workspace. Okay, and after I save it, remember that we also had an opportunity. At least it was flashing with a golden alert for the US. Okay, the US. By the way, I should have saved that at 60, not 15. Yeah. So let me go ahead and redo that for the US. So I will delete the 15 here. We don't need the 15. And now we're gonna save this workspace as the US, which is the 30-year bond instead of the 10-year note. Okay, it's a very similar product, and price direction is extremely correlated with the 10-year note, but it's not the same. Okay, it's not the same. So again, let's do the same process we did before. We're gonna come to bar chart. Okay, we're gonna come to bar chart. We're gonna look at the bond futures. Okay, the bond futures is the 30-year. Yeah. Okay. And notice how it's pointing at the U. Okay, so which, by the way, that's not a surprise. So at USU 20. Okay, this is going to be the new symbol to be added in this new workspace. Okay, notice on here in the bottom it says US 60. Let me draw it again. US 60. Okay, so I'm loading the US 30-year bond in a 60-minute time frame, and then everything else on the top comes automatically. Now, the 8-minute time frame, yes, I will take that. But again, when looking at the US, okay, notice how the time frames to be used are different. Okay, it would be 1597 337. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change that. 1597 377. So 1597, okay, 377 on the top. Okay, different markets, different level of liquidity, and therefore we gotta adapt our timeframes there. And then for the reactive timeframes for the US, we are looking at 377 as well as 89. So here we go. So 377. Okay, I don't need 500 bars. With 55, I'm good to go. And then we're gonna use 89 for the tick time frame. Okay, and here I'm gonna switch this to 55. Okay, and I'm gonna save this workspace. Okay, and now let's do the same type of analysis to see if there is a trade available or not on the US. So I'm looking at the US here, a 30-year bond, and we have a same story. Thick dot, that's good. Red color, that means it's a down climate. Candle number 1 out of 5. So you see, it's basically copy paste of the TY trade because those markets are very, very correlated. Okay, but anyway, we always need to check because sometimes correlation stop happening. Okay, so 1 out of 5. Again, if we find a good entry, this could be a trade for around 5 hours. And for us to take this trade, we need to find UFOs, red colored UFOs, around our reference price, which is 177.53. Okay, so 177.53. Okay, it's basically where price is right now, more or less. Okay, and unfortunately, we don't have any of those. Okay, if I look at the bottom part of this UFO, that is 177 2532. Okay, and I said 53.6. Let me see. I mean, let's. This is the tricky part of these markets. Okay, which when TradeStation does mathematical calculations such as an EMA, it would be plotted as a fraction, where this price, as a fraction, I should say, as decimal places. Okay, where these markets are trading in fractions. Okay, and sometimes it's easy to make a mistake in your mind when you attempt to do the calculation. Okay, so the best way to do that is to just grab the calculator, and I'm just gonna click and hold. The bottom part of that UFO is 2532. Okay, 25 divided by 32. So if I use the calculator, okay, and I do 25 divided by 32, that is 0.78. Okay, so this plus 177. Okay, so basically we're talking about 177.78, where the average price is 53. So in other words, the UFO is higher than the EMA. The UFO is not enveloping the EMA, and therefore this UFO does not qualify as a good entry. As I said, I kind of did the math in my head. The UFO we are looking for should be more or less around the current price level, okay, but it's not there. Okay, so for now, it's two no's, both for the TY as well as the 30-year bond, the US, and therefore we're gonna go back to our table with the markets and see if we find any opportunities that are tradable. Okay, so what in the futures markets right now, the only one that is still flashing is the TY, but again, we commented no trade for now. And then Lean Hogs is also flashing, but I want you guys to realize the gray color cell under the column climate. Okay, you guys see that? What does that mean? Well, it means that the climate is not confirmed. Okay, so this is a trade of a lesser probability, and therefore we're gonna pass. Okay, so I'm gonna move into Forex now. Okay, well, actually we just got an alert. The Euro futures. Okay, oh, wait a minute, that's hopeful. Yeah, it's crude oil. Crude oil was flashing there for a minute. Crude oil is flashing, okay, and it's confirmed to, yeah. So let's go for it. Let's take a look at crude oil, and if we don't have anything, then we'll move into Forex, okay? So crude oil. So while the chart is loading, Jaime, Pedro Mejias is now from the team, right? How can we follow him? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you're gonna get to see many more instructors conduct sessions and keep you busy, isn't it? I mean, let me show that later in the session if that's okay, because I need to rush to see if there is an opportunity on crude oil. But actually, they're not. Okay, there is not. So, okay, no need to rush. The reason why there's not, okay, let me explain. The climate is confirmed and is red color. That's great. But notice how the reference point is oh 07. The current price is 11, right? So we are above our reference point, okay? And there is no UFO. Well, wait a minute. What about this one? This one starts at, yeah, 3610, okay? So 3610, okay, is above 3607. So the location of that UFO happens to be above the EMA, and therefore we don't have the setup we're looking for, which is the UFO enveloping the EMA. We have to be strict on that, okay? It's easy to be like, oh, but look, price is inside the UFO. Why don't we take the trade now? Why don't we do it with a reactive time frame? So yeah, you can find many excuses to break the rules, but the point is to never break the rules, okay? And therefore we need to use something called patience, which is to wait for this to fall, if that's the case, okay? And then if that's the case, probably a UFO may form, and then now you have a UFO where you need it to be, and now you can take a trade with a higher level of probability that if you were to take it now, even though there is a UFO, so it may fall. Actually, it's falling. So, but again, the probability is less on your side for a continuation of the move after the turning point that happens in the UFO. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, so quick one. Let me out of Jaime's question. Let me go ahead and get into our website, tradewithufos.com. I want to click on the get together button. Probably many of you have done that already. Okay, you went there, and the difference between the last time we were together and today is that we changed month. It's June now, and when you look at the schedule, it looks much busier than in prior month because we are adding something called nailing effects. Okay, and those sessions with nailing effects will be conducted by different instructors. Okay, and more to come in the following months as well. So we're gonna have fun. You can see here Bert, Antonic. You can see here Cherry and Matthew. You can see here Andrew Han. You can see here Pedro Mejias. Okay, which is your question there, right? So if you wanna get in touch with any of the instructors, to be honest, it's very, very simple. Okay, first you can just click on it, right? And the moment you click on the schedule, it will bring you here. So now you can click on the instructor name, okay? And the moment you click on the instructor name, you're gonna get to know a bit more about Pedro in this case. Okay, here is Pedro, okay? And then if you want to message him, okay, you have two choices. Okay, so choice number one, okay, probably is the most convenient one. So just send an email to support at tradictive.com, okay, and they will route the email to the instructor you're looking for. But also there is an easy way for you to remember. All the email instructors are their name. In this case is Pedro, and then that is followed by tradictive.com. Okay, so mine would be Jose at tradictive.com, Pedro would be Pedro at tradictive.com, etc., etc. Okay, everybody. So now you know. Anyway, back to the charts. Let's see what's available. Okay, so we said no crude oil. Okay, so let me close this one. Let's go back to the red screen. Okay, so what else do we have? So the Russell future, the Dow Jones, Russell future, and Dow Jones. Okay, so let's go for it. So let's begin with the Dow. Okay, so we have the Dow Jones here. Let's see if the Dow Jones is giving us an opportunity. And I would say so. So what do we have? We have an opportunity here to get short the Dow futures. Okay, why? Because we have a confirmed climate on the 15-minute time frame. Statistics. Actually, I place my mouse on the wrong place, and then we would not see the stats. But statistics suggest that in a down market, okay, the Dow is likely going to fall 6 candles in a row. That is an hour and a half. And if that's the case, we are about to plan on a trade to enter using candle number one, 1 out of 6. So we may catch an hour or over an hour long trade with the Dow, at least based on the current climate and reported data from AutoClimate. Okay, so that's good. So now with that setup in mind, okay, with that potential opportunity which is still being defined in mind, we need to look at our reference price as we did before with the 3-year bond. So in this case is 25,582, and now we are just going to move into the higher time frames and look and see. Sorry, not the higher time frames, but what I meant to say is the charts on the top, the edge time frames, and look for UFOs around 2582. We don't have it on the left, we don't have it on the middle, but we certainly have it on the right. Okay, we certainly have it on the right. So we do have an entry. Okay, now my concern is that this UFO may overlap this one, this may overlap this one. So we need to be very careful with overlapping UFOs. So the top of this one is 597. Okay, 597. And notice how this is the beginning of this one. Okay, so this UFO overlaps with this one. Okay, so in other words, if I was to place a stop using 597, well, I cannot. I need to use 6 to 1. Okay, and if I use 6 to 1, 6 to 1 happens to be above 681. Okay, so that's fine. And 6 to 1 is also the same 6 to 1. Okay, so in other words, the UFO on the right, it's overlapping with this one, and this UFO is overlapping with that one, which is also overlapping with that one. Okay, so we have we have actually 4 UFOs. Okay, kind of overlapping each other, and therefore we're gonna have to keep that in mind when planning the trade, where our entry will be defined using here the bottom part of this UFO. Okay, but the exit part will need to be planned on being above 621. Okay, so it's gonna be 622. So anyway, with that in mind, let's find a target. So a 15-minute time frame of the Dow Jones Futures turning on AutoUFOs. And here is the nearest UFO. I'm just going to make a note on my end. Okay, and I'm just going to click and hold. Okay. Oh, I just hit the wrong key combination. Sorry for that. Here we go. Now I have it right. So 25,472. Okay, so 25,472. This would be the trade to be executed. This would be the location for the target for this trade that we are about to place. Okay, this execution. Okay, so work with me on that, guys. And again, you know that I'm going to use 2 contracts. That's what I always do in the sessions. You guys calculate your size. Okay, or if you use a demo account, use whatever size you choose. Okay, but just make sure that if you're using real capital, okay, you don't need to mimic my size, okay, and make sure you calculate the right size for you. You can also use micro and mini contracts if this trade has too large of a size. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and input the trade from here with two contracts, OCO, OSO to short with two limits and one stop. Okay, so here is my order. The bottom part of this UFO, I actually forgot to check. So that is 55.74. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. 55.74. That's gonna be my shorting point. So I'm just gonna input everything and then I will zoom in so you guys can see. So 25.574, that's the entry. The stop, okay, the stop we said is gonna be above 621. Okay, so above 621, that's going to be 622. So 25, 622, that's my stop. And I need two, of course, because I got two brackets. So 25, 622. Okay. Then my final target, we just said it's 25, 472. Okay. That's from before. And now what I need to do is I need to do a little bit of math. Okay. And I'm going to grab a calculator to make sure I make no mistake. Okay. So the difference between the stop, which is 25,622, minus the entry, which is 25,574, that is 48 points. So if I project this below the entry, which is 25,574, okay, that brings it down to 25,526. Okay, so 25,526. Okay, so let me zoom in. So you get the parameters properly. You can even take a screenshot if you wish. Okay. While I zoom in, I'm going to re-explain it because this may be a bit fast if you are new to the sessions. So we have entry at 25,574. That's the red UFO on the right. Okay. Stops. It's 25,622 for both of the brackets. Okay. So we are missing the number 2 there, but it's there. 25,622. Final target, okay, we found it. It was a green UFO on the 15-minute time frame. It's 25,472, okay? And then we got the safety target, which is 48 points below the entry because the risk of the trade is 48 points. So the safety target is located at the same distance, 48 points below, which is 25,526. Okay, so those are the parameters of the trade. And again, I'm using two contracts. Make sure you calculate your size because obviously 48 points could be significant risk depending on your account and your level of expertise. And if that's too much, again, you can use micro e-minis. So instead of using the YM, you can use the MYM, which is the micro e-minis, and then everything is divided by 10. So if the trade was to risk $500, now it becomes $50 of risk instead of 500 because everything is divided by 10. Commissions are not divided by 10. Okay, that's certainly not the case. But performance point values are divided by 10. So I'm just gonna send the order to the system. Here we go. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. 574. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I made a mistake with the stop. Not sure what just happened there with the stop. Let me cancel that and let me replace the whole thing. Let me do that again very quick because actually price already touched that UFO. If I had been a bit faster, I would be in the trade. So 25,574. Okay, and I guess I made a mistake. Oh yeah, of course I made a mistake. I typed it in the wrong cell. CDME. So 25,622. 25,622. Okay, 25,472. Okay, 25,526. I believe that's what we said. Yes. Okay. So place order. That's it. I'm in. 1, 2, 3. The order is in. So let's see if it comes back and we get filled. The UFO is still there, so taking the trade is still valid. Okay. The EMA, it's 83. 83 is certainly between those UFOs. Okay. So we're absolutely fine. Double check very quick. Notice how the stop is in the white space. That's good. Notice how the stop is in the white space. That's good. Notice how the stop is in the white space. That's good. Okay. And notice how the entry is exactly that particular UFO, which is the one we picked, given our reference point, which is 84, and 84, it's somewhere here in the middle of this one. Okay. So that's our entry UFO. Notice that it was nice to see that when price get to this point, it started falling down out of the UFO. Hopefully it'll come back so we get a feel, because if not, it's going to be sad to see the trade go its way without us on board because of my silly mistake placing the stopping price. Okay, we just got filled. Okay, we just got filled. Okay, very good. So we are in the trade. And now we are doing a few things, okay? So first, we are letting the trade to play out while we manage our emotions and we enjoy whatever happens, given the fact that whatever happens does not depend on us, but depends on the market, okay? So we're just gonna let it happen, okay? We have the climate in our favor, the unfilled orders in our favor. All of those things are there for us, so let it happen. Okay, that's one thing. But now the other thing as well is that what we need to see is that price reaches, okay, the safety target on time. Okay, and on time means that I'm going to use, as always, a time stop rule. Okay, a time stop rule. Okay, so our safety target is there at 25, 5, 26. Okay, so we need a push to get there. Okay, I'm just a bit concerned that, as you can see, price is moving very fast, okay? And when price moves very fast, it's very exciting, but at the same time, the probability of having price return at the same speed in the opposite direction is also high. So that's not something I welcome, but we cannot control it. So again, I'm just a happy camper watching whatever happens happen. But again, I'm gonna go back to my time-based time frame on the left, okay? Because in parallel, I do need to count on my time stop rule, okay? My time stop rule where I got filled in that particular candle. Okay, let me freeze the screen. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I got this alert and it removed my screen. So let me again show you the candle when I got filled. Okay, and you can see exactly what I told you before, that when price falls so fast, it may come back in the opposite direction just as fast. It's kind of like the worst situation. Okay, it's kind of like the worst situation. But anyway, let's go back to this. Okay, so we are looking at the time stop. Notice now I'm freezing my screen with the candle where I got filled with my two contracts. Notice this was 10:30. Okay, this was 10:30, and I'm giving myself three candles on that time frame. So 10:30 is the close of that candle. The next candle will close at 10:32, and the next candle will close at 10:34. In other words, at 10:34, okay, which is let's call it 2 minutes from now, if I haven't reached my safety target, okay, in 2 minutes from now, I'm gonna have to exit the trade for whatever P&L available, which may be some loss, maybe some profit, whatever it is, I'm gonna have to exit. Okay. It's a bit sad, if you wish, because we saw it's beautiful move, okay? But again, we never got to the safety target. So again, we cannot invalidate the trade. We should not be doing anything. Just stick with the plan, okay? So we are just gonna wait until 10:34. It's about 2 minutes. So instead of diverting and going to another market, I'm just gonna stick with this one to see in the end what's gonna happen, okay? So price is now exactly reaching 58.4, okay, which is more or less, it's only 2 ticks above the EMA, okay. So we may see some on-field orders to sell kick in, okay. If we see that, we will see it here on the reactive time frame, okay. And if that's the case, that's going to be a very good news for the trade. If not, then the trade is not looking too good, and that's why we have a time stop. And the reason why I said that is because the red UFO we had there is gone. Okay, so should we have another UFO above? Yes, absolutely. But the one that is lining up the closest to the EMA was the one that is now gone. Okay, so again, this happens in many trades. Okay, for price to move, orders need to get filled. When orders get filled, often the app will erase from the screen the UFO, and the meaning of that is don't enter. If you are in, stick with the trade. But if you are not in, do not enter now, because now you got less on-field orders than earlier. Okay, so the UFO going away again, it's not the best news. Okay, but it's what it is. So we're just gonna stick with the plan. We got 20 seconds to go. Okay, 20 seconds to go. I think that it's gonna be difficult to reach the safety target in 10 seconds now. Okay, at 11:34 New York time. Okay, so it's looking like we're gonna exit this trade for either a small profit or a small loss. We got 5 seconds to go. I'm about to close it. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. I'm out. So we just made $90 in this trade. Well, okay. Trade number one of the day. Nothing magic or special, but hey, the climate is suggesting this needs to push and push hard to the downside, being the beginning of the climate, and it did not happen. So instead of stay there and hope for the best, getting out, it's a better choice. And now, what may happen is that a new UFO forms, lining up with the EMA. So then we'll plan a new trade. And the beauty is that now you got $90 of profit in your pocket, which kind of offset any risk or loss you may get if you re-enter and you lose. Then at least you're gonna have $90 in the pocket, which is a tiny help, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? So we didn't get hurt on this trade while what we were expecting didn't happen, and now we are ready to re-execute if a UFO forms, which at the moment is not the case. Okay, so we need a UFO at 58.1, and as of now, we don't have any of that. So we'll come back and check in a minute. I would like to go back to the red screen, but before I want to check your questions as well. Boyan, you just got short crude oil. Okay, great. I guess I was busy with the Dow Jones and I missed that one. How are you, Mark? Good to see you. Okay, so it was not a successful trade on the crude oil. Part of trading, Boyan, as we know. There was a UFO below that was my entry, but got filled and stopped. Entry was per plan, so okay with a small loss. Exactly, and that's the mindset. I love to hear that. When I see you guys talk like that, it's like that guy knows what he's doing. Okay, and of course we all know Boyan knows what he's doing. Miguel Mateo, hi Jose. It is not overlapping by 6 ticks. I assume we didn't need to be super exact, right? It was overlapping. It was overlapping exactly. Okay, maybe Miguel. Let me take a look at something just in case that's the reason. Okay, because it was indeed overlapping properly. So the price you see here on the right, like 25,604, this corresponds with the inner circle inside the UFO band. So if I click on the edge of the UFO band, okay, let me freeze the screen. Notice how the bottom part is 25,999. Sorry, no, 25,599, okay, which is below 604. Okay, so the setup we had earlier was like that. The value plotted on the screen was not exactly lining up with the EMA, okay, but the bottom value of the UFO was certainly below the EMA, while the upper value of the UFO was above the EMA. So the term we use, Miguel, is the UFO envelops the EMA. And envelops means that the EMA is somewhere in between the UFO. Okay, and that's what we got. Okay, this is what we got. So the trade was valid in that sense. Okay. Very good. Good question. Good question. And I love the fact that you guys are paying that close of an attention, because the goal of these sessions in the end is that you guys can go ahead and replicate this by yourself, isn't it? So you better pay close attention. So I love that. Good job. Well done. Leland, you got filled. Very good. Boyan, your entry was a bit higher. Didn't get on board. Got you. Paul, so you don't use too far too fast before the safety target is reached. Well, the rule too far too fast, Paul, has you take the distance from entry to safety target and just trail your stop by that amount. But in other words, if you never reach the safety target, you cannot trail, even though it's too far too fast, but you cannot trail. Okay. So yeah. Very nice, Mark. You did the trade and you got $90 profit. Good job. Love it. Teamwork. Very nice. So let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. In theory, we got 5 minutes to conclude the session. Let's find another trade. At least one more. Come on. Let's do it. So the Dow Jones is still flashing here. The 10-year note. You know what? Let me go ahead and redouble check the 10-year note. Let me redouble check the 10-year note. Maybe a UFO has formed and now we have a trade. I don't think so. No, no UFO. It's a down climate, no red UFOs. Okay, so no 10-year note. Okay, no 10-year note, and with the Dow, no red UFO has formed. So nothing to be done. Lean Hogs is not confirmed. Euro futures not confirmed. Nasdaq and S&P futures are hopeful. So I guess with futures, as of now, we are done, and therefore we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the forex currency pairs. Wow, what a boring moment for trading. I mean, and this is because, to be honest, many currencies are very extended. I mean, I'm sure that some of you trading currencies are watching currencies such as the euro, etc. Okay, well, thank you very much, market. We just got given two trades with the CAD and the Swiss franc. I was calling it boring in the sense that I just got no golden alerts. All the golden alerts got, gray color here or hopeful there. And I'm like, there is no forex trades. But suddenly the CAD and the Swiss franc did decide to come and join us. So let's go ahead and go take a look at the US dollar CAD. Okay. And we'll start planning on a trade. We're going to be using the left part of my screen, so combining the edge time frame 8 minute together with the 1 hour time frame, US dollar CAD. Okay, so we are not looking at the time frames. We're not looking at the charts on the right, not for this trade. So let's zoom in to understand better the market condition. The market condition is a down climate, 2 thick red dots, number 2, out of a climate which should be 5. So we may still have an opportunity to catch a 3-hour long trade by shorting the Canadian dollar around the reference point 135.17. Okay, so I'm thinking 17, and while I'm thinking 17, I'm turning on AutoUFOs on the top. Okay, and unfortunately, there is no UFO at 17. Okay, but I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go and check not only the 8-minute time frame, I'm gonna go and check the 8 range time frame to see if now I do have a UFO at that price level. Okay, 17. Okay, and we got 15, and then we got 21. Okay, we got 15, we got 21, we don't have 17, and therefore no trade for us on this currency. Okay, not a big deal because, well, first of all, it's not new, isn't it? Our job as a trader is to say no more often than yes, but also not a big deal because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to give it a try with the Swiss franc. Let's see if the Swiss franc give us what we need. Okay, so looking at the climate with the Swiss franc, two red dots, 2 out of 561. So, if we catch this trade, we may be in for another, let's call it 4 hours. Okay, that would be nice. Reference is 11, which is the current price actually. Okay, black line and the current price are in the same place. So 11 is our reference. Okay, the next UFO here is 21. So this is not good. Like before, let's check the 8 range time frame to see if we have UFOs around 11. So do we have a UFO there? Around 11? We do. Okay, we have a UFO. Price is inside actually. My only problem is that this UFO is only 1 pip wide. So 12, and the next one is going all the way to 15. Yeah, so we just cannot. Okay, we just cannot. Again, if this was the Euro futures, no problem. The Swiss franc futures, no problem, even though the Swiss franc future is not really liquid. But with a non-decentralized market, with a non-centralized market like spot forex, yeah, it's no good that we have so much distance from the tiny UFO, one pip wide tiny UFO on the 8 range time frame compared to the 8 minutes. So we're not gonna do it. It would be hopeful, okay, in a way. So back to here. Quick look at the Dow Jones. Well, the Dow Jones seems to be changing direction. So you see the beauty of the time stops. When things don't happen the way they should happen, there may be a reason for it. Okay, and the reason may be this new pile of order that was not there before that now is available. Okay, so what a nice management of the trade, where Mark and I made $90 on the trade, while really it never started moving clearly in our direction. Only at the beginning there was a great level of intensity, but why did it stop? Well, it stopped because of that. Okay, someone large stepped in and said, you know what, you are falling very hard. I'm going to buy you at this lower price. And they reversed the Dow Jones. Okay, so I'm just going to close this particular workspace. We don't need it any longer. So a quick last look at the table to see if there is any opportunity. The TY is still flashing there. On the futures markets, nothing. Canadian dollar, we said no. Swiss franc is now showing on the 240-minute time frame, but it's not confirmed. And on the right, we got hopeful, and the sensible here. It's not confirmed with the euro pound. Okay, so I'm guessing that that's all for today, my friends. I am guessing that those are the opportunities that were available. And during these 45 minutes we got together, we took the one trade that was possible, and we collected something out of it. So that's okay. But again, the market is still open, and there are many more opportunities for you to practice. So make sure you follow the rules. Make sure you stay safe. If you are new to trading, make sure that you go ahead and you use either a simulated account, or use very small size, maybe micro minis, so you don't have emotions involved when you start practicing the methodologies, and you make sure that the plan you have is what you follow, so you can track results of a plan instead of tracking the results of randomness. Okay, make sure you do that. And if you don't have a plan, you need help. Again, I'm super excited. I earlier, I showed you the schedule here. I'm super excited with the addition of multiple sessions that we are doing here. Okay, but I would like to point at something which we are also doing for the first time. Not only the nailing effect sessions are trading sessions that we are doing for the first time. Okay, but also, we are running a proper futures class for the first time. Okay, because Forex classes we're running on a regular basis, and many of you have taken the Forex classes, but futures classes is the first time that we are doing it in June. So if you're interested, just click in any of those futures boxes, and you have a link there for you to sign up for the course. Okay, that course has a fee. It's not going to be done in the YouTube channel. Okay, but just take a look if that is your interest. Anyway, so very last look. Hey, look at that. Maybe we have a trade on crude oil. So super quick look at crude oil to see if there is a trade. If there is a trade, I'll give you instructions. And if not, we'll call it a day. Yeah, options on the Thursday, Ahmed. Very good. So what do we have? My friends, we do have a trade. And we better run. So AutoUFOs, so the target for crude oil. So crude oil, the target would be 36.36. Well, that's easy to remember. So 36.36, okay? That's the target for crude oil. I didn't check if I'm using the right symbol or not. Good habits first, my friends. So energy, crude oil, N is the letter, very good. Price is entering right now the entry. So the average is 36.17. We have right there is 17. Bottom part is 01. 01 is all the way here. Yeah, so that works. So we're gonna go for a trade here. Okay, 2 contracts on crude oil, going long. I'm gonna put all the trade parameters. I know I'm rushing now, guys, but I'm gonna zoom in so you get to see all the parameters. Okay, so the top of this UFO is 36.20, so that's gonna be my entry. Okay, so 36.20 with 2 contracts is going to be my entry. I'm going to have stops located at 36.00, okay, because we got 01. I want to tick below, so it's going to be 36. Okay. Final target, I just said 36.36, okay. and the difference between well, actually, I cannot take this trade. Yeah, we cannot take the trade. Here is why. Even though probability is on our end, okay, risk management is not. Okay, the entry is 36.20, the stop is 36, so I'm risking 20 points. So if this is my entry and this is my stop, and I place a safety target 20 points higher, that's gonna be 36.40 is my safety target. What's my issue? My issue is that the final target is 36, which is actually happening prior to my safety target. Okay, and that's a no-no. This trade is less than 1-to-1, and therefore we will not execute the trade, even though the setup meets the rules. But it's a no. Okay. So anyway, I thought I had something in my hands to give you a little bit of practice or homework, but it seems that in the end it is not the case. So we are now concluding the sessions, my friend. You guys take care. As always, a super pleasure joining you here in the sessions, guys. You guys take care. Stay safe. Make sure you follow the rules the way you do. If you have questions, shoot an email to us. We'll be delighted to assist you. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. See you on Thursday.